You're listening to Making Data Simple, where we make the world of data effortless, relevant, and yes, even fun.
Hey guys, thank you for being here today, Making Data Simple. My name is Al Martin. I'm here with Rakesh Ranjan. Rakesh is the Director of Emerging Technologies for AI and Machine Learning for Data and AI here at IBM. So yes, another IBMer, but we've got a good one here today, I promise you. Rakesh does a lot of next generation solutions here at IBM. And the cool thing I like about Rakesh is, well, a lot of cool things I like about Rakesh, but he works a lot with academia and research, so he's got a lot of cool projects. He gets to do the science experiments here at IBM, but the cool thing is the science experiments that he does take on are all business oriented. And so anyway, without further ado, hi Rakesh, welcome to the show, and thank you for being here.
Hi Al, thanks for having me.
For those that don't know you, I know you well, and we'll talk a little bit about the project I've been working with you on. But for those of you who don't know you well, please give us a little description of yourself, what you do, etc.
Well, Al, you summarized my day job very well. I'm an executive responsible for building next generation solutions that have potential to transform industry in data and AI arena. My team infuses practical AI into IBM Analytics products that helps our clients run critical businesses. People also call me a change agent. I ask why a lot, whether I'm doing my own day job or helping my team succeed with what they do on a daily basis. Maintaining status quo is not my thing.
That's good. How long have you been here in this role?
Boy, this has been 19th year. I joined IBM in 2000, exactly when the dot-com bust was happening. And that was a great year, not so great year to be in California, actually.
Yeah, but where'd you come from?
I came from Minnesota. So I worked in Minnesota for a couple of years. So
where'd you work at?
At Deluxe Corporation in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, very nice. Okay, I got it. And then you came here because you wanted to be inventive. Not that Deluxe isn't innovative, but at IBM we like our research. So give me an example of some of the projects you're working on right now. And there's one that I do want to detail upon, and that's the one we're working together on. But why don't you give us a flavor of some of the projects you've been working on?
Well, I have a very interesting job. I love my job. In general, working with the latest and greatest technology is always fun. But it's not about technology itself that excites me. It's about clients' problems that I try to solve with modern approach. There are many projects that I'm working on. Let me give you a couple of examples. One is, getting insights from data, since we are talking about making data simple for our clients. Our clients always been looking to get insights from data. They have been using robust query languages like SQL for a long time. They have also been using tools that provide them pre-canned reports. But with emergence of AI, especially in natural language processing area, I started looking at NLQ or natural language query to simplify getting insights from data. Now users can talk or type into machine and get the answer they need. In addition, they get personalized recommendations and future trends. I call this making data simple for business users.
So that's natural language query or natural language processing. Can you talk a little bit more about it? That is the project. You hit right into it. That's the project we're working on, and what the value is. What do you get out of that differentiates itself, and what's the value prop?
So getting insights from data consist of more than one steps. As you know, Al, our clients spend most of the time in collecting data, curating data, transforming data, and getting into the shape that business users can get insights from easily. And that's not an easy task. This area has been, many companies have been improving with their tools and technologies in this area. But when I started looking at it, I saw a potential of making data really simple for business users, which means can they get insights from data without going through a lot of data prep? In other words, can they just load data and machine identifies the pattern in the data and prepare data for getting insights for those users, and using the natural language query that they are comfortable with. They don't have to learn complex SQL or create time-consuming reports. So it's about applying natural language processing, various machine learning services to identify the pattern in the data, crawl and cache if necessary to provide instant answers, and many other technologies that we have built in the lab, putting together to in a shape and form that allows business users to get insights quickly.
So just to drill down on natural language query, is it written, voice, or both? And by that example, can I just say either write it or say it and say, hey, give me the revenue for all orders between like January 5th and January 10th?
A great question. The business users now, with the emergence of these devices on their desk, Alexa or Google Home, they would like to have a conversation with these devices and get the data they need. But hooking those devices with natural language query is not that difficult, but processing natural language query and mapping those to the query language that database supports is where we pay attention to. So yes, in essence, you can talk it out. We have a variety of speech-to-text and text-to-speech technologies in IBM that we utilize. But most of the business users like to have a semi-structured, semi-natural language query that they can quickly type or talk to. So I'll give you an example. Instead of writing the full text, say, show me all the baby products that was sold in California store number 22, you would say total sales in my store number 22. So it's a practical, it's a pragmatic, so you don't have to write too much or talk too much to the system.
So basically, in essence, the beauty of it is we can replace SQL with natural language query to be more, I guess, conducive or more, what's the word I want to say, just more suitable for the business user that doesn't have to know how to write an inner or outer join. You just go straight at the data with simple language. Yes?
Yes, exactly. And we want to make our business users productive so they can focus on running their business, focusing on high value things that they do every day, and not focus on nitty-gritty details of SQL or learning SQL if they don't know.
Is it available today?
Of course, it's available today. So we brought it a beta version of our natural language query engine called DB2 Augmented Data Explorer that works with our DB2 flagship DB2 database. And it's out there for our clients to try. In fact, we have many clients who are using it for in their daily operations.
Nice. That's good. So, transitioning, what other technologies, and by the way, that's one of my favorites, so thank you for that. As I led the data group, that was one of the ones that you and I talked on several times. But what other technologies are in your bag of tricks that you're working on right now?
There are many, Al. So most of our clients use data ops platform, these new concepts of data ops where you collect data, you organize data and analyze data. And this is a fundamental workflow that any company needs to be able to democratize data in their organization and improve their business processes across the organization. And if we talk about, we just talked about collecting data and making it available to business users. And let me talk to you briefly about the middle piece where organizing data. And most of the clients use governed data lake to collect data and then apply governance, which means they discover metadata and apply their business glossary as a meaning to these metadata. So we have developed tools that uses artificial intelligence and machine learning models to discover metadata automatically and assign meanings from your business glossary to these metadata. So they become rich and they become the part of the governed data lake workflow. And what does it do is to provide these business users, including data curators and data stewards, an opportunity to use those metadata to feed into regulated workflow, especially in the regulated financial industry where they need to comply with regulations and make sure that they make the data, they enable their business users with self-service data preparation and enable their data scientists to consume these data into their data science applications.
So essentially, DevOps, DevOps. See, I almost said data ops, where you're trying to reduce the 80% of the time that's spent cleaning, curating, and massaging data for the data scientists, so that you can reduce the time to value here. Yeah.
Exactly. So these were the mundane tasks that our clients used to do for more than 6 months, assigning business meaning to data manually, and then reviewing these workflow by industry experts and lawyers and other folks in their enterprise. 80% of this work can be done using AI, and that's where we brought AI into action. That now we do 80% of your work. Now you spend 20% of time in either reviewing or aiding high level value to these metadata or to this workflow.
So what do your studies really show you, though? I mean, how much are you cutting that down on average? And can you give the audience a little bit of an example? Because I think the contrarian view is that everybody's out there saying, yeah, everybody wants to reduce the time to cleanse data or whatnot. But what's the really magic bullet here? I mean, is it significant? Do I want to take a look at the technology that Rakesh is talking about, or is it just the next best thing? I'm just curious if you could quantify this in some
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'll give you a couple of examples. Last year, I was working with one of our financial client in banking and finance industry, and a typical banking and financial institutions have, on average, glossary, which is business glossary, which is nothing but a parent-child hierarchy of business terms, structured in a way that represents the knowledge for their business in the order of 200,000 terms in the glossary. And give or take, you have a huge amount of metadata from the data lake that you want to bring into governed data lake. So you can have a governance on those mission critical data. So in terms of metadata, we are talking about hundreds of tables in the columns and on average 200 plus columns in a table. And these, as you know, all these metadata are very cryptic in nature. Most of the metadata were created 10, 20 years ago, where no description for tables and columns. So you're talking about a very cryptic metadata, something like AR underscore TR. Does that mean anything to you? Or CST underscore, IST. And most of the companies, organizations would spend months and months to, put together a team of industry experts who would go through these metadata discovery process, assign the business meaning to it, which means, in a tool, they would assign metadata terms from their organizations to these metadata and save them. And some of these were automated using rule-based engine. But what I brought in is fully 100% AI-powered metadata discovery tool that would do this 6 months, 8 months long process to a matter of days. And literally, I'm talking about 6 days instead of 6 months. All our data curators at clients' shop have to do is to review them and make sure that they look good. And as most important thing is, as they acknowledge and approve them, machine learns it continuously. In other words, machine learns from their acknowledgement, their approval, their assignments of terms to these metadata, and it gets better and better. So next time when you do the same thing for different department in your organization, the outcome and accuracy gets better and better. How cool is that?
It's very cool. Well, you had me at 6 days instead of 6 months. Is this in the form of a new product, or is it a new offering altogether, or is it integrated into existing offering?
Oh, it has been part of our unified governance and integration products portfolio since December of 2016. So you can imagine it has been matured. It is being used by last I was told most of our client base, 100 plus clients, have been using this. On the other hand, this technology is available also on our flagship IBM Cloud Private for Data, which is our data ops platform that I was talking about a few minutes ago. Mm-hmm. So it's a one single pane of glass providing our customers entire workflow of collecting data, organizing data, and analyzing data into one platform.
You're talking about ICP for data, right?
Yep.
IBM Cloud, for those listeners, IBM Cloud Private for Data is our microservices architecture that has Kubernetes at the core, containerized, et cetera. So you're able to integrate all these technologies together. That's where Rakesh is referring to a data ops platform. Good. That's actually a very good example of where the microservices architecture can add a ton of value. So you've given me MPS and LQ as one of the areas you're working on. You're also working on data ops and reducing the largely the collect, I guess also the organized piece of data cleansing, gathering, harvesting, etc. So those are the two. You got a third one?
Oh yeah, many more, Al, but I'll talk about another one which is very close to my heart. Uh, Not sure you have heard about multi-party computation or secured multi-party computation. When we talk about data analysis, this is an era of shared economy. So shared data analysis. How do you perform analysis on data, which includes machine learning model, running machine learning on shared data, without losing the privacy of the data? So there is a concept now picking up called privacy preserved data analysis. And there is a technology called SMPC, which makes it possible without losing the privacy of data. In other words, if you are an analyst company or you are an FDA like organization wants to do analysis on data collected by various clinical trials coming from different companies, or simply you are doing a wage gap analysis collected from on a salary data from multiple organizations or department within your own organization. Nobody wants to share data for competitive reasons, or who knows, the data breach can happen at the third party or broker itself. So it's a scary thing these days, especially in lieu of all the privacy regulations we have. GDPR, we have a California regulations coming into effect from January 1st, 2020.
So
It's very
pause for just a
hard
moment.
that,
What you're doing is you're trying to take data, perform analytics on said data, or machine learning, anything, and you're trying to protect the privacy of that data while using it at will, which is always a tough thing, right? Because you can't share data with private information, right? So that's your ultimate problem statement and goal here.
yep. And how to facilitate this with confidence that data contributors can share data with confidence. They know that this tech called secure multi-party computation would allow them to securely share the mask data and not the data in real data. So at the same time, they don't want to anonymize or mask the data on which you are trying to run the machine learning model. So MPC allows data contributors to share the data while preserving the policy. And I'm very proud that we are bringing this technology as a service on ICP for Data platform, where organizations will be able to securely use data from multiple sources to not just analyze, but run machine learning model, predict, and share the analysis results of the analysis back to those contributors.
So you're using a form of masking? Is that what you're doing? Is that the technology behind this?
It's a different homomorphic encryption techniques, Al, that facilitates the masking of data while preserving the actual format of the data.
So then you can see the data that you're looking for, but you can't tie it back to an individual.
Right. So you cannot see the actual data because data has been masked, yet the format of the data has been preserved, which means I'm confident that if I'm running a machine learning model on salary data, I'm running on the actual salary data, not the made up salary data.
Yeah, but so you can't see individual data. You can only see the aggregated answer. Is that what you're trying to suggest?
Yep.
So everything else is masked except for the answer that you're looking for, which is in aggregate and not by individual. The problem is, what if you had only two individuals? You could say, well, then you could figure it out. I mean, is there what kind of limits do you put behind it so that you're not able to essentially reverse engineer the algorithm to find individual data?
Yeah, obviously, you're not going to run the analysis on two people's salary data. So, uh, but but
You know, I always
there,
think of these things, right?
there 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 are many other techniques that we can bring to mitigate that problem. But in general, you're gonna bring the and there's a very good example, Al, on Boston Women's Council ran a salary wage gap analysis for women in all of Massachusetts, where they use this technology to convince all the private and public sector companies to share women's salary data. That was a very successful project which evangelized this tech, and now it's getting adopted by many companies.
Fantastic. Now, again, is this a product that's available right now, or is it something you have in research, or is it part of another product?
Oh, we are bringing this technology on ICP for data in next few months.
All right, so I got it. So three projects we've went through. Number one is natural language query, which is essentially semi-natural language query. You can be written or verbal to get answers in using natural language. You've got data ops, which is data ops being your entire data life cycles from data preparation to analytics. You're essentially pushing data ops and the ability to reduce the time it takes to collect, organize, even analyze data in a microservices architecture like ICP for data. Hope I'm saying all this right. And then thirdly, a project not yet in market, but will be in, again, ICP for data, our microservices architecture, where you're driving shared data analysis without losing the privacy of said data.
Correct.
Those. I know you got many more, but you would consider those your top three.
Yep.
This has been a little bit more question and answer this session, but I think this is interesting. So I know you also lecture at San Jose State. You've done that for many years. So you've got this connection with academia. Why the importance, and how do you maintain that connection?
Oh, this has been a blessing. So being connected with academia helps me remain on top of research and current trends. I help my students get hands-on experience with cool IBM technology and hire them back at IBM. You probably know, Al, my class has been using IBM Cloud since IBM Cloud was born, last 4 years. And I have a university relationship with San Jose State University, where students get access to top-notch cloud technology for 180 days. Guess what? They get top-notch technology to work on. We get students who use our technology, and I get to use my industry experience and skills to share, mentor, and give back. It's a win-win for me.
So if I got to believe others would like that deal. Is there an offering within IBM to from academics to be able to leverage the IBM Cloud or other products within? I know part of the answer to it, but I want to ask you the question.
Absolutely, and who knows better than you? You own the product portfolio in data science and machine learning area. The day Watson Studio was made available for academic use, fully free, I made that offering available to all my students, and they used Watson Studio desktop version for free in my class this semester, and I can tell you, Al, how excited I am. They created so many applications using Watson Studio, using the full DevOps model of creating models, deploying models, and managing the models, all with ease. And they will have access to it forever, I heard. So that's a very cool initiative that you have started.
Yeah, for those listening, I'd also encourage you to Google IBM Academic Initiative, and you'll see that we have cloud, IBM Watson, data analytics, blockchain, power system. We got all kinds of different cloud access courses, software that the academic world can take advantage of. So how'd you get on this path, man? You referenced it. I'm going to go into kind of our lightning round, ask you a few questions, and then we'll finish up if you don't mind. But how did you end up on this path? Did you always know you wanted to work on new technology? I mean, what got you here?
So that's interesting. If your question is about how do I get into teaching, both
Teaching,
my parents,
technology, all of the above.
yeah. So both my parents are teachers. My dad was professor in physics. My mom was a science teacher. And oh, you will be surprised. I have 27 teachers in my family. So teaching was in my blood. And
not that anybody's counting, but 27.
When I studying my own graduate program here at San Jose State University, when I finished, I was talking to my chair and say, whenever you need industry experts to teach here at university, let me know. And guess what? I was talking to him, and I believe it was October of or November of 2010 or 2011, and immediately after Christmas, he calls me and say, "Hey, I have a opportunity for you. Can you come and teach?" I said, "Yes." So it has been a great journey since then, Al, being with academia, participate in some of the research programs that being conducted at university. In fact, I was part of a research program for White House in Obama government, and I did a small analytics projects for Obama's chief of staff for telecom industry. So being with academia gives you.
Is this classified, or what was this that you worked on for the administration?
This was an insights driven from the data that they collect for being competitive across nations. So yeah, this was partially classified.
All right, man. Thank you. And we'll put your contact information in the show notes. I presume a lot of it's around LinkedIn or otherwise. But a couple quick questions to end, which I call our lightning round, and then we'll wrap up here. So thank you. But what of all the inventions that you've done, what are you most proud of?
So I'm proud of a couple of inventions or innovations that we talked about. One is a smarter catalog. And when I say smarter catalog, it's beyond one or two machine learning model or infusion of AI. How do you make the customer's catalog smarter when they start using our product in their hybrid cloud environment? So which means getting them a very good bootstrap and then learning from the data that they start ingesting into it. I'm very proud to take this smarter catalog initiatives to the next level, adding visual recognition model to it. So clients can ingest visual images. There are a lot of banking and insurance clients use visual images for automated claim processing, etc. So it's a Smarter Catalog is the project where we keep adding new values to our clients, and they take it to enhance their own business processes and make their employees productive.
Got it. Hey, so let me ask you another quick one. Thank you for that. What's the last thing? So I got to get into your mind here for a minute. What's the last thing you read that wasn't email? You talked about a book, long shot, but is there, what's the last thing you studied, researched, the book you're reading? Just kind of.
So yes, I read a book long time ago called "Without Their Permissions" by Alexis Ohanian. He's a co-founder of Reddit, very famous guy, young guy, became millionaire at age of 27 or something. And it's a very good prescriptive book that I keep on my desk and keep referring this for many reasons. And part of my job is to bring up crazy ideas and nurture them. And many companies, Al, that people look at or ask for their boss's permissions, their manager's permissions to do something, and that's where they fail, because they are either afraid to take the initiatives and work on crazy ideas they have, or they wait for the system to give them a green signal or to go nurture those ideas. So this book has a lot of tidbits that I follow, and I keep looking at it, remind myself that I don't need permissions to do work on crazy ideas or work on something that initially, yes, people will not be very receptive of, but that definitely, my gut feeling says that has a potential to change industry or provides clients a value proposition.
What was the name of the book?
Without Their Permission.
Without Their Permission. That's
by Alexis Ohanian. He was a co-founder of Reddit.com.
I was going to ask you, who would be a role model? Is that your role model? Is that the answer to that question?
No. My grandfather is my role model, and as I told you, 27 teachers in my family. My grandfather was a teacher too.
Yeah.
And he was not just a teacher. He believed in that every human born on this planet has a birthright to get educated and take education to make their life better, and their life better for the people that surround them. So one interesting thing I would share about him is, if your handwriting is not good, Al, in his mind, you are a very clumsy and complex person. So for him,
you have good handwriting is the point.
Good handwriting. You got to have a good handwriting.
Hey, there's wisdom in there. So what do you do in your free time, man?
So
do something for fun.
2 of my daughters keep me busy. I'm a vivid reader. I like to read magazines other than books. I subscribe to at least 4 or 5 magazines that I read.
And those are what can we what are those 4 magazines?
Those are Popular Science magazine, the Wired, some of the finance magazines, CNET magazine, Forbes, The Economist. So you name it. It's a wide variety. I don't have most popular one or something, but I like
good.
to read.
That gives us a kind of several that we can look at. Popular Science, Wired, Finance, CNET, got it. So what's next for you, man? What do you think's up next?
AI is changing the world. AI is changing the way we work. AI is going to change how we work, how we think, how we perceive, how we look at our jobs, and to me, Al, the most important thing is we are knowledge workers, and knowledge is the key. So learning and getting skilled on new technology is the key. I have been taking a couple of Coursera courses on deep learning and convolutional neural network right now. That keeps me busy. But what next is to get ourselves ahead on this AI game and make sure that we reskill ourselves, our employees, our folks, and get it ready for the next big evolution and revolution.
Well, thank you so much. I think that's a good way a good point to end on. I'm all in, and data and AI is where it's at as far as I'm concerned, the nervous system of the world right now. So hey, thank you, Rakesh, for being on, sharing with us your insights. I thank you, and look, I know we'll continue our relationship, so I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much, Al. It's nice talking to you.
Hey, thank you so much. And for everybody, until next time, I'll see you on Making Data Simple. See you.
Thanks for listening to the Making Data Simple podcast, where we make data fun. Be sure to visit ibmbigdatahub.com/podcasts to access the show notes and uncover even more great episodes. Remember, the views expressed here are those of the host and its guests, and do not necessarily represent the views of IBM. Until next time, over and out.